Thank you very much. It's good to see you all again. Thank you, Mr. Gibbons, for inviting me and to share the successes of Father McGivney Catholic High School. Mr. Gibbons and his wife, Sherry, have been involved and active supporters in McGivney from the very beginning. They both served as founders, and John also serves as legal counsel for our school board. So I do appreciate everything that they've done and your continued support. Again, my name is Joe Lombardi. This is my 7th year at Father McGivney Catholic High School as a principal. This is my 24th year in education, and I spent about 18 years down at Belleville West teaching science. So education has been in my blood for a long time, and I got the invitation to come up and serve as principal back in 2017. So what I wanted to do before I actually jump in to the successes of McGivney is I did want to share a little bit of success of one of the scholarship individuals that you guys donated to last year. So back in June, I was actually at this exact same podium helping present an award to one of our students. His name is Greg Vernarski. He graduated last year, and he went on to attend Central Michigan University. And he actually had a quick message for you. He said, "My classes are going really well. I have straight A's so far. I'm also a member of many clubs, including being a committee member for the Mid-Meton Forecasting Club." So he actually is becoming a meteorologist, which is pretty exciting. He said, "College is very fun, yet it is quite different than high school life." He said, "I have a lot more time to do other things that I didn't normally have in high school, but I'm enjoying every step of the journey." And he does appreciate everything that you did for him and the support that you offered him through the scholarship. So thank you again. So we've had a lot of things going on at McGivney. As John said, this is our 10th year anniversary. For our new members that haven't maybe heard of McGivney, so we are out just past Walmart. If you take the new Bouse Road, or sorry, Old Troy Road that was just constructed last year, you'll kind of run right into us. We're right next to Casson School, I believe is the one that's out there. Is that correct? Yeah, so we're right next door to them. We have been around since 2012. But we actually started off at St. John Newman in a small wing over there. The reason for that was the recession back in 2007 kind of slowed things down for all of us. Father McGivney itself is actually kind of a unique name. There's actually no other school in the United States named after Father McGivney. And the reason that we thought it was really important to have him as our namesake, he's an American priest. He was actually the founder of the Knights of Columbus. Which was really exciting for us to have that connection with that organization because of the service that they have. But his main purpose was really to focus on families and then orphans of gentlemen who had lost their lives early on in coal mining and different things like that. So his entire mission was really to focus on helping serve those families that had lost their main breadwinner. And he being a very young priest, he actually died around in the ages of 30 to 35. We thought that was a really good role model for our students to kind of look up to. That idea of service, that idea of young and engaging in the community. Kind of a lot of what I just heard today from what you guys are doing as well. So we did open up the doors with only 19 students back in 2012. And then we ended up moving to a new building, a brand new building, which is the one I talked about next to Casson's back in 2015. And we opened those doors with 108 students. I'm proud to announce that we've had just over 300 students enrolled this year. So we've had a 300% increase basically in just the 7 years that we've been in the new building. So things are going great. And I think the reason for that, I really want to kind of focus on that today, is the importance of McGivney and why it's become so successful is based on really two main things. And that's number one, we focus on the individual. We do that every single day that we're in that building. That's been a mission that we've had from the very beginning, even before I got there. And what I mean by that is what that looks like every day is representing seeing our individual kids as who they are, not who we want them to be, but who they are right now. And then we make a lot of different connections with them throughout the school year to make sure that we identify what they would like to be. And sometimes we have to actually put things in front of them that they don't even envision themselves doing. And that's the beauty of my job. That's what I love doing so much, is seeing the opportunity that kids have and the experiences that they actually get to take part in. And they have no idea what they can do, but the important thing for us is we want to make sure we see the individual every single day. And the reason we can do that is because a couple different things. Number one, our staff. Jeff Fowler is a great example of that. He has been our basketball coach, head basketball coach for girls, but he's also a great PE teacher. He's a great mentor for our kids. And all of our staff are like that. They take time constantly to be with our kids, not just through the successes. Like if you didn't see yesterday, we had 2 young men sign for Division I baseball scholarships. Very excited for that. But we're also there for the times when they're just doubting themselves. And that's the importance and what we can do for our kids. That's the individual piece. And the reason we can do that again is because our staff are dedicated. They're more than educators. They're just focused on making the world better through our kids. So that's a really important piece. And the reason we can do that is because one of the things I wanted to highlight, there's a couple different things, but we have what's called a house system in McGivney. 10 years ago, there are no other schools in the entire region or area that had what's called the house system. And what it is, anybody read Harry Potter, parent, kids, grandparents, any of that kind of stuff? Have you ever read any of that? Basically what this house system is, it is a dedicated time during the day where every single kid in our school is grouped together with between 17 to 20 kids and an adult mentor. They meet every single day. And those kids are freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. Now imagine from day one, the very first day they walk into our school as a freshman, you are meeting with your house before you go to any classes, before you do anything else. You meet with that house and you have been introduced to our school system by juniors and seniors and sophomores that have been there. What a great welcome for brand new kids coming in. So I don't know about you guys, but I went to Granite City High School. That was not my experience when I went to Granite City High School. Okay, I was stuck back there by the CTE classes, vocational classes, and I did everything I could to keep my head down in the hallways. That is not what we do at McGivney, because we want to make sure every kid is seen. We want to make sure every kid feels like they have an opportunity to lead. And that house system that I just talked about, we do have an adult mentor in there, but the whole system is built around student leadership. So our students are trained from sophomores, juniors, and seniors on to become basically the leader of that house. And they stay in that same house for all 4 years. So what a great way to build relationships with our kids and to get to know them, again, back to the individual. And what we focus on here at McGivney all the time is we focus on just 3 things, but they're big: mind, body, and spirit. So that's kind of what I wanted to spend a few more minutes on, is talking about the successes of how that model, that mission of mind, body, and spirit has been successful for us. First off, we'll talk about the mind, which is represented by the academics. We do have plenty of we have AP classes, advanced placement classes in science, in English, and in math right now. And then we also partnered up with SLU for our dual credit program. So all of our kids that are in juniors and seniors right now, they have the opportunity to take world language for 4 years. The junior and senior year is actually a college credit opportunity through SLU. So it's a great Catholic organization, great, obviously, academic organization. So we were really happy to be partnered with them. And then, of course, the advanced placement program, if any of you have had high school kids, it's a really successful program that gives kids the opportunity to get college credit. So we have those. We also have a wide number of students that have been very successful. Our average ACT score is 24, where the national averages are at 20.3. So kids are doing well. The one thing that we tried to figure out, though, is we are a small school, 300 kids. We have 24 teachers total. So we won't be able to offer a lot of the electives that a lot of larger schools have. But what we were able to do is, because of our small size also, we were able to be flexible. We were able to put a plan in place. And what that plan was we introduced what's called Catholic Virtual. It's a great program that's certified by NCAA and other organizations. And what it allows our kids to do is to take over 300 electives that they wouldn't be able to get at some of the biggest schools in the area. Chinese, Mandarin. We had a young man doing a drone flight training in our school. So it's really a cool opportunity for our kids to take classes. So that was really great. And then, of course, we're seeing success, not just from the young man that I mentioned at Central Michigan as they leave us, but our kids are awarded over $238,000 in scholarships on average a year. So colleges are liking what they see, and we're continuing to build on that and making sure our kids get a really good academic foundation there. Now, most importantly, of course, is spirit, and that's at the foundation of everything we do. I really appreciated the convocation that was started this meeting. Sometimes that's a difficult thing to have in organizations now, but I appreciated that. That's an important piece for us too. We want our kids to know that their successes are not just due to themselves. They're due to a greater purpose and a greater vision. So we build theology into our classes all the time. We have 4-year requirement for theology, but we also build that theology and faith into everything we do at our school, whether that be through our service, our house program, as I'd mentioned, weekly masses. And I don't know if you saw in the paper a few weeks ago, we actually had our first all school service day in 3 years. The gentleman in the back there talked about 2020 being such a horrendous year. It impacted all of us in a lot of ways. It really restricted what we could do as a school. Having said that, we only missed 5 days in 2 years. We were in person every single day except for 5 over the last 2 years. So, but having said that, we weren't able to do a lot of the service projects that we normally do. This year we came out in gangbusters. And a few weeks ago, we were out in the community serving in multiple different areas. We were at Durda Wood, Schoen Park, Watershed Nature Center, and then at Silver Lake and Highland. And we had 300 kids out and about doing service, doing cleanup, and every single location, I got positive feedback. And that's a testament not just to our kids, not just to our staff, but our parents as well for what they did. So we were really excited to be a part of that. And again, to show our kids that what they do in our building is not enough. They have to do things outside the building as well and serve our community. So that's a big part, of course, what we do. Even yesterday, we had kids out doing election judge. They were volunteering to be an elected judge, which is really important for us. Kansgiving, Change a Child Christmas, those are all an important piece of what we do for our faith portion. And then, of course, our body. So mind, body, and spirit. The last piece is our body. And what that means is extracurriculars. Athletic programs are going through the roof at McGivney, but not only that, but fine arts as well. Our concerts, our drama productions are increasing and becoming more popular, which is really exciting. And that's the thing, is I wanted to make sure our school benefits not only our athletics, which is really important, but it benefits anyone. We have over 30 clubs, and the way our club system has worked, it goes back to the individual. Anytime a kid wants to have a club at our school, they need to find 3 friends and then come to me. And then what I asked them to do is I said, you have to go find a chaperone. You have to put together a plan of cost and then when you're going to meet. And then we actually work through that as a group. So it's not me telling the kids what kind of clubs they're going to have. It's the kids coming to me and saying, this is what we think we need. So it's just a great extension of that individuality as well. Now, athletics, we've got all kinds of athletics here. We've got cross country, boys and girls, golf, boys and girls, volleyball, boys and girls, soccer, boys and girls, tennis, which I'm very excited about as a former tennis player. We have tennis this year, which is really great for boys and girls. Basketball, of course, boys and girls, cheer, track and field, softball as well, and baseball. Yeah, really important as well. And the other thing we try to do is we've got a dual sports program where we have the ability for kids in the same season to play more than one sport. Now, I'm going to be honest, that was a little selfish on our part initially, because when you have 19 kids, like you got to get everybody in there that you can. Can you walk? Great, you're going to play soccer today. Like that's how it was. So the policy though itself is basically you pick a primary sport and a secondary sport, and we've worked through all that out. And that has been a lot of work from Mr. Jeff Aller here as well. So it's worked great for us. Just a quick couple of highlights for athletics. Regional championships in girls basketball, sectional championships, conference championship back in 2020, and then all the way up to the Super 8 or the Elite 8 and Super Sectional appearance as well. Our boys cross country has done phenomenal. They've been at state every year for the last 3 years. In 2021, our baseball team, second year or third year as varsity? Second year as varsity, made it all the way up to the state tournament in Division I and finished second, which was really exciting for us. State qualifiers in golf and cross country as well, like I said, in conference championships in basketball, baseball, soccer, both girls and boys. And then this past year in the spring, we had a freshman win the state championship in the 1600 meter track. She's a freshman. It's pretty exciting to have her on board. And the cool thing about that is that we had a sophomore that did really well as well. And she pushed that freshman pushed our sophomore. And then this year, our sophomore actually finished ahead of her. So there's a lot of great competition going on there. But the fun thing is they're walking down the hall together all the time. They're talking to each other. It's not competition in a negative way. It pushes each other. So really exciting. Girls tennis, very first year that we had it this year, and we had 2 freshmen go to state. So a lot of success. And again, that comes a lot, not just from our athletes and their the dedication to it, but also our staff as well. Now, as John said, and I've mentioned, it's our 10-year anniversary. So anytime 10-year happens, we got to make a lot of exciting things occur. But I think the biggest thing is that we will finally be announcing a campaign for an expansion on Monday, so November 14th. So we will be expanding hopefully by the end or by December of 2023. So completed everything else. Now, having said that, we've also got a lot of expand. I don't know how many people have ever done renovations in their house. Have you lived there while the renovation is happening? Got it. So I told you I've been there since 2017. Every year I've been there, we've done construction. So you remember how like anxious and horrible that feeling is? Yeah, we're living it every single year. Now it's a good thing though, because that's all because we are expanding and because of the success of our programs. Okay. So we continue to do that. We've built varsity baseball field, JV baseball field, a turf soccer field, softball field, all in the last 2.5 years. We've built classrooms in the last 4 years, and our parking lot is being completed today as we speak in the rear, which is awesome. Now, that's all fantastic, but we want to look even further in the future. And like I said, our phase 1 is going to be a new common space. And that common space would be used for obviously lunches, but also activities, graduations, all school masses, things like that. It would also free up space in our building for new classrooms, which are going to be definitely needed. And then phase 2, which I don't know, maybe 3 years out, we'll see. A new chapel, a new gym, an auditorium, and additional classrooms as well. So future is bright at McGivney, and it's great to be a Griffin. So thank you all for your time. I am right on the money at 1 o'clock. Not bad, not bad. Thank you so much. And I appreciate your time. Thank you again, John. And thank you all for letting me.